it's Shannon and welcome to my channel, The Daily DIYer. Usually you'll find inexpensive craft projects as well as Dollar Tree DIYs, but I also like to bring you along with us on our home remodels and renovation projects. So we do all kinds of different DIYs here, and this is a big project that you see behind me that we've been working so very hard on. I know personally I love to see big transformations and seeing before and afters, and this fireplace is going to be one of those. And if you're new here, we have been building me a she shed or a cottage for me to work in as a studio and a crafting space, so that's where you actually see all of my projects being made. Outside of my office, I have a huge grand space for filming where I am right now, and this fireplace is the last missing piece to this puzzle. So what I want to do is take you all the way back so you can see what this wall looked like before it does today. This is going to be part one in a two-part series, so I can catch you up on the big transformation we've already created so far, and then the next video will be the whole finishing process and the after. So if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button, click the bell, and select all so you're notified when that next video goes live. I'll also make sure to put down in the description box the full playlist of our she shed build, which will take you all the way back to groundbreaking, the framing, the finishing, and now up to today. So you'll definitely want to go back and watch those, but today we're going to jump into this fireplace project.
All right, so let's take a very, very quick look way back when we just had the framing and the sheathing and basically an empty she shed up until the point where we added insulation and started adding all of the drywall, and then finally a look at it pretty much complete and finished, except we are missing that fireplace. So basically here is a look at our base stock cabinets that we just got from Home Depot. Just sat into place. So the very first thing we needed to do was get those square and flush and into place where we wanted them before we started working on the center main part of the fireplace. And then we actually decided not to drywall the middle part because you're not going to see it. We didn't want the insulation falling out though, so we did add some clear plastic to keep all of that insulation into place, and then we could start framing up that center. So you can see here we had our framing on the floor, and that was our guide to kind of give us an idea of sizing for those center support boxes that we installed onto the wall and onto the studs all the way up the center. And then we added the side supports that kept our piece from moving around. That made sure it was all level and even, and then we attached those cabinets onto the sides of those supports. So I'd also like to mention that our ceilings, the very highest top point is 17 feet tall, so it's a pretty big structure, and the main box for it is about 2 feet deep. We also built a hearth in the front, which is kind of a step up onto where the actual fireplace is, and that is about 11 inches deep.
Hi guys, again, I feel like I need to do a whole brand new intro because it has been a long time since the last footage that you just saw seconds ago. It's actually been about 6 months. We, after that, sort of fell into the pandemic. Brian and I got married, and also we have done a full bathroom remodel since then. I will put those videos up in the iCards if you want to go watch those, but as you can see behind me, nothing has changed as far as the fireplace goes. So that is what we're finally going to pick back up on. Is in September now, 2020. We finally got a game plan together. We picked out our stone, our materials. We went today to purchase them all. So it is like go time again, finally, to get this fireplace looking beautiful. So let me show you around a little bit. All right, so basically what we're gonna do today is get the box framed out where the TV is actually going to sit into. And then we're also going to frame out where the fireplace is going to sit into. We need to add some more bracing for the shiplap as well as for the tiles. So this has kind of been one of those things I have been dragging my feet on. I didn't know exactly how I wanted this to look. We finally made a decision. Obviously, we're gonna have shiplap. That's gonna be on the sides and on the front above the mantle. This stacked stone is going to go down here on the hearth.
as well as all the way up the front underneath the mantle. And then we also have this beautiful travertine that's gonna go on the top here to kind of make that little step. And I'm so excited. So we're gonna go ahead and get to framing, and then we will add the cement board. So here you can see that additional support and bracing, as well as the step for the hearth. And that is what all got this cement board, so we could add our stacked stone onto this area. So here's a look at Brian adding the stacked stone to the front of the fireplace. We did get this from the floor and decor store along with the travertine. However, they said that the travertine was being discontinued, and the stacked stone, if I can find the name of it, I will link it down in the description box below. But you just added this all the way up the front of the fireplace, which is going to be the area underneath the mantle. And this is a look at the finished fireplace with all of the stonework finished and the insert added. We still need to grout that travertine, but we wanted to go ahead and start installing the shiplap along with the plywood for the TV insert. So I was definitely getting excited at this point because I was finally seeing our ideas and this all come together. And we did have to add some more bracing at the very top because we needed to continue that shiplap all the way up to the point. I also wanted to show you the side. You can see we had lots of scrap pieces of shiplap, so we used those on the side, and all of the missing pieces that you see back there you're not even going to see because we're going to be adding bookcases on top of these cabinets. And then once those extra brace pieces were added, Brian was able to come in and add all of the shiplap all the way up to the top. If you enjoy home renovations and budget-friendly decor ideas, you can head over to my Instagram and Facebook pages. There I share lots more ideas and inspiration. I will make sure to link those both down in the description box below. Here is a look at the fireplace with all of the straight pieces cut and installed, but now at this point we had to start mitering our cuts so that they would create that triangle shape and go all the way up to the very top. And you can see here we have a lot of unfinished edges that will come back in later and add some trim and finish off. And here's a quick look at the finished shiplap, and at this point the fun thing about shiplap is there's usually a lot of holes involved because we use a lot of nails. So I got out my spackle, which is a pink color, so once it dries it turns a white color, and that's how you know when it's time to sand it. So I just went through and filled every single nail hole. Once I had all of the nail holes filled and it all sanded down smooth, it was finally time to paint. So I'm using a latex paint for this in a satin finish. This is the color Polar Bear by Bear, and I used a paintbrush first to go through all of the corners and any kind of tight spots, as well as you want to go down and get into every single one of those lines and cracks from the shiplap. Once I had that done, then I came back in with a roller and rolled the whole thing. Brian also went ahead and added all of the trim to the corners and the edges around that TV opening, as well as at the top where the shiplap meets the ceiling, and it just really made this whole look start to come together. It all still needs to be caulked and painted, but we are getting closer. But I want to take you back to what this wall looked like when we first started working on it, and then what it looks like today. Such a big change, and definitely a dream starting to come to life. Please take a second and give this video a thumbs up for me, and if you haven't yet, click subscribe, hit the bell, and select all so you're notified when our big fireplace reveal video goes live. I am so excited to add the handmade mantle to the fireplace, as well as the bookshelves to our cabinets on the sides, and I can't wait to share that with you. Also, make sure to click one of the links that are popping up on your screen. I have a playlist of the whole entire she shed build. You can go back and watch from the very beginning. You can also take a tour of my office as well as the loft inside the she shed. I want to thank you all so much for joining me today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye everyone.